28th, 2024 meeting of the City Industrial Development Agency to order. We start with approval of the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And the treasurer's report.
I can definitely give it. Very little activity since we last met in March. I'd like to, is she here? Kristen Holler has joined our staff. I think that the team here has not met her yet, joined in June. So a wonderful addition, helping Steve with the land bank activities. I just wanted to note that. As to the treasurer's report, yes, very little activity. We have $553,000 cash on hand through July 2024. You'll see in other income, Tony has done a great job getting us some additional interest. Interest rates have improved on our savings, so that's wonderful news. Also, it will show up in our August report, but we did close on the 1675 Watt Street property owned by the authority since 1990. We had an easement put in place to protect the city infrastructure, and the authority agency, gained $225,000 on the sale. So you'll see the cash on hand increase next treasurer's report.
I just want to thank David for his work on that, Danielle, getting that lot that I still call Dwayne Avenue, but it's really Watt Street, getting 225 for the IDA, a parking lot that we never used. They talked about this, it was purchased by the previous IDA administrator, but it also puts the property back on the tax rolls and puts it in the hand of a good developer. So really a lot of work. And it also saves us money from having to go in there and maintain that lot. I know last year we spent a couple $1,000 to get 6 or 7 truckloads of garbage out of that.
Tires, people
deposit
tires
legally dumping there. So this is across the old Superprop building. So that lot is no longer our responsibility. So it's really a triple win: tax base, 225 to the IDA, and avoidance of costs associated with taking care of the property. So thank you to David and Danielle. It's a lot of work. And I did absolutely nothing toward helping it. So
You're back on the tax rolls. It's going to be a storage facility. So it's good news for that property.
Good. Any questions? No, I'll entertain a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Lucy, all in favor?
Aye.
Next item in the agenda concerns the YWCA.
Yeah, this is a project that we saw before in 2020. Originally, we're looking to phase the project. This is on the Washington Avenue in the Stockade to build a new 54-unit, 40,000 square foot building in the back. In consultation with New York State Homes and Community Renewal, they suggested that they go with the as-of-right funding program, which works better if they do both the new construction and the renovation at the same time. So this project is up to $47 million, 54 units of new construction, and they'll be renovating the existing facility, which are 42 single-room occupancy units. We've been working diligently with them on the Early Learning Center, which they're hoping to expand with some of the state resources that are available. Looking to expand that in a different location, which will allow them to successfully renovate the building. 2 actions with this. 68524 is the environmental review. The memo says unlisted, but is actually type 1, which matches the resolution, a type 1 action because it's in the historic district, but it has only positive effects on the environment. So we're issuing a negative declaration. And 68624 is the final approving resolution to offer the payment in lieu of taxes, again, creating more revenue at this facility, which has been off the tax rolls. Fortunately, they can do that because it's part of the housing program that's through the state, and is in addition to the sales and mortgage reporting tax exemptions. Any questions?
just make a comment here again. Sorry, Madam Chair. David again has worked very hard on this, and it's a very complicated project. You build a new building behind the YW. Move everybody back there, and they do great. They provide some very important services for our community, and then they rehab the front building in that relocation process. So they build the back, move everybody back there. They also need to find a place for the child care program, which is very well attended. And Scott's done a lot of work, and I want to thank him for helping them find a new location, which is the former office max location in Rotterdam. There's the airport. We're very excited about relocating their childcare program there, because again, they have to move that out of the YW while they're constructing the new building and then eventually renovating. So yeah, new building in the back, move everybody back there, move the daycare, and then rehab the front building, which is a really important historic building in the stockade. Mirrors our successful effort to redevelop 13th State, the YMCA, which came out great. But it's a very complicated project. Received strong community support, support from the Stockade neighborhood. People recognize the value of the work that they do. So we're happy with this work, a lot of moving pieces, and it puts the building, the YWCA, for the first time, and it's been around for 100 years. They made substantial but modest pilot payment, which is better than what they paid for the last 100 years, which is zero. So it adds to the tax base.
Is the childcare going to go back after they finish the building?
I think it's in flux. I mean, I think they're looking at a couple of different options still. There's a big price tag associated with it. They're pursuing some funding from Empire State Development, my old agency, State Development Agency, which is now funding daycare because it's so pivotal to employers and job creation in the state that Empire State Development is big time into the childcare system now, and especially in childcare deserts. I think they're looking at a couple options. They're looking at how to complete all the funding they need for the Office Max because it's a substantial investment, but they're moving forward on all fronts. So I think it's one of those things we can keep you posted on.
Okay.
But they definitely need to move while they renovate the building.
Right.
There's a few different service providers that we talked to, SCAP, which we'll discuss next, Northeast Parent Child, that all provide childcare services, and they're all looking at the same funding sources. So we're fortunate that there's going to be, additional enhanced childcare. We just have to figure out kind of where it lays once they get the funding.
Right. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 685-24 for the seeker.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And motion to approve resolution 686-24 to take appropriate actions and move forward with this.
So moved.
Okay. Second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Next item is the Paul Properties Project.
Another really exciting housing project that also helps one of our top social service providers, SCAP, is the DePaul SCAP project. It's at the corner of State and Brandywine. There was been a few parcels. You'll notice that there's a billboard still on one of them, old funeral home, and then there's a bunch of decrepit parcels right at that corner. They've been, I think they're looking to close in the next week or two, if I'm correct there, on a 2.58 acre parcel to combine that for a future $37 million campus. This again relies on New York State funding through the 9% tax credits, affordable tax credits. They're working with the Paul Properties, an entity that we work with often, the Joseph L. Allen Apartments. They're finishing up on the Mosaic Apartments on Crane Street right now. A really terrific, long-standing housing organization out of Rochester. They do assisted living facilities, senior, other affordable residential. They partnered together on this project, 60 units of high-quality housing at that corner. And then the administrative offices for SCAP, as well as their childcare facilities, will be at the corner building, which will create a nice little gateway down Brandywine and further improve the State Street corridor. We are taking the initial action here to hold a public hearing to discuss the project, talk about our benefits, which would be, again, a payment in lieu of tax agreement. The sales tax and mortgage tax are typical benefits offered for this project as well. And we'll go to public hearing and discuss that. Any questions?
Just, sorry.
That's okay.
I want to thank, SCAP came to us looking for a site for this project. We helped identify the site for them. And we've been involved in weekly calls that Scott participates in. I think we've been very helpful to them. SCAP is extremely competent. That ship is just amazing. And this project, that corner is so blighted. It is just, it's been just terrible condition for the longest time. The owner finally passed away. He was holding out for a huge number on that corner, why it was never developed. It's across from the new dental facility that the county put into the old drugstore across the street, across from Hometown Health. It's just very blighted, and we want to thank the land bank, Steve, Kristen, and David, for getting two of those buildings in the next land bank round, which will happen this fall. The old restaurant that's been vacant there. We are saving the bell out front. We had some, right? We're working on that. But it's just been a blighted, horrible mess of a site for just way too long. And this is a $37 million investment. Again, will increase the taxes paid on the property from the current level. And it'll add tax base, provide a new campus for SCAP, and provide much needed affordable housing. So great project, and we hope it gets funded by the state. They're submitting their application to the state on the 18th of September. So this action, appreciate everyone coming in today, so that this adds to their portfolio and to their application, gives it more credibility that we're moving ahead and have site control, and the project is proceeding.
Great. Any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 687-24 to hold a public hearing. That's Tracy.
Second.
Second, Doug, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 1631 Eastern Parkway.
Yes, if you've driven down Eastern Parkway, you'll see the wonderful building we own, the old Fireside. We purchased it because it had sat blighted for, I think, since 2011. Is just bringing down the rest of the property values. Something needed to be done. When we first purchased it, we assumed that we were going to have to move forward with demolition. We've had positive conversations with Mr. Tommy Nietzsche, who he owns the Broken Inn in this unit, and he is the proprietor who just opened the Horses Lounge again. He did a terrific job. If you've been up there, I think it's become a real neighborhood destination. He has spent significant time with Scott, with Steve, Chris, with all of us, because it's the one we really want to find the right solution for, to review the condition of the building. And he'd like to move forward with purchasing the property, getting it back as a productive restaurant space. The property, everything of value has already been stripped out. There's no kitchen supplies, all electric, plumbing, everything has to be redone. It's basically a shell that needs to be stripped down. That means it has, what would be to us very negative value. What we'd like to do is start the 90-day notification period to convey the property to Mr. Nietzsche for a nominal value of $1, so that he can then put the money into stabilizing the property and getting it back to productive use, which means if we were to demolish it and own it, no taxes are ever paid on it. The value for whoever is to eventually, if we sell it to a neighbor, is just a vacant lot. If you can get this back up and operational, the assessed value goes up, creates value for the community, and it's just a nice destination, which he's proven a track record to be able to do. So the two actions here. One, because of the Authority Budget Office rules, it's 90 days until we can sell a property. This property shouldn't go 90 days, especially if the snow starts flying. I know that's tough to say before Labor Day here, but we want him to get in there and stabilize it as soon as possible. Metroplex has made funds available to help him with that. So we'd like to enter into a license agreement, which allows him to do the work. He'll list this additional insured, indemnify us against anything that could happen. He'll get on there, stabilize, put on a new roof, any structural support he needs to do. And then we'll come back after the 90-day period has lapsed and finish the transaction to sell him the property. And then, 689-24 is that start of the 90-day process.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone involved. Tommy Nietzsche's hit it out of the park in this unit, done a lot for the schools, for the community, and hosted a lot of events. Hit it out of the park with the horses, got a great review in the Gazette the other day. And proven operator came to us when we took action on the Fireside and said, I'd like to go through it and see if I can save it. By saving it, we need to avoid the cost of demolition, which would be substantial. He has gotten a hold of the old Fireside recipes. The pizza was very, very good. And is excited about moving forward. I want to thank Scott and the whole team, Steve, who's been through that building, putting themselves in harm's way because the building is in very rough shape, very rough shape. But I think this building is at the gateway to the Upper Union Street neighborhoods, corridor. The owner was from Long Island. He neglected it, never visited Schenectady, could care less, bought it sight unseen, and never invested a nickel in the building. And we just communicated to this building owner that we're not going to accept that anymore. We're not going to accept these downstate slumlords and who just blight our community and cross from a very important grocery store in the city and a very highly visible corridor. We just said, we're not tolerating this anymore. So we were able to negotiate a purchase price that was below market, and with the IDA's approval, we purchased the building. And again, our plan was to demo, but we want to go forward now, keep it on the tax rolls, and bring in a successful operator. So it's been a great effort. That the parking lot is also going to be improved. That's right now, right on the corner. It's very visible on the corner of Eastern.
There's a picture on the second side of the map.
Very bad shape. And Tommy Ditchy does some support from Metro to improve that, landscape it, make it look nice, and that'll provide parking for both Fireside and the horses. And of course, you've all seen since our last meeting the news about St. Clair's, puts that facility on the tax rolls, and the development that's going to happen in St. Clair. So it's a very important part of this city that we're trying to resuscitate and revive and renovate and revitalize, because it's, with some absentee landlords and some other folks that have fallen into some disrepair. So this is a very important thing that I know is very strongly supported by the Upper Union Street Business District, and as well as the Upper Union Street Neighborhood Association area, and folks are very excited about saving Fireside. So thank everybody and the IDA for their previous action to buy this building, taking that risk, and now I think we have a very good outcome.
Great. What about the property that was right next to it?
We are hoping to get that under control as well. You have a very good eye. It's very blighted. Again, an owner from Jersey City who, to our knowledge, has never been here, who lives in, phenomenal. We find these owners with the internet now. You can find them. So we usually find out where they live, and they're usually in very nice places.
We see their house, we see their dog.
Yeah. And it just drives us crazy because these people, this woman lives in Jersey City and doesn't have a care in the world and doesn't even give a second thought to the fact that this is a blighted, horrible mess. So we're working very hard to get that property under control as well. And as part of this redevelopment, there's a very good question. We don't have it under control yet. Very hard to reach this woman. Mr. Ditchy's involved with us on that as well. So we hope to get that one under control as well.
Any questions? All right, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 688-24, license agreement.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
okay, Lucy, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And a motion to approve resolution 689-24.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
Tracy, thank you. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Winston Place vacant parcel resolution.
Well, I clearly don't like to own property that we've owned for a long time. So this is another one that we found that's been sitting out here. It's, I think there was a project with Spectrum at one point. Yeah, the IDA had gotten involved years and years ago. And then there was this 1.12 acre field, that at one point there's baseball played on it, but has since just gone to seed. We've walked up there. That's right next to the Steinman's home apartments. So the Schenectady Municipal Housing Authority reached out to us with an interest in the property. We had talked to them years ago about potentially just taking it over. They've had great success with the former Yates Village, Northside Village, of renovating their current housing stock. I think that this is an idea that they're going to have moving forward as they reach out to development partners to look at the Steinman's homes, which are dated and in need of significant investment. So having this 1.12 acre parcel will allow them to rethink, do they add more housing? I'm sure it's going to be important for construction laydown area. For us, it's been off the tax rolls. It's worth $67,000 for the appraisal. We think that's an accurate number, and we'd be happy to sell it to them to get it back to a more productive use. So this action here, again, starts the 90-day clock where we notify the authority budget office. We'll sell this for fair market value of $67,000, and we'll come back to you in 90 days for final approval.
Again, sorry to jump in, but again, you couldn't think of a more ill-conceived plan by Mr. Robertson when he ran the IDA. While buying up property, remember we had to do the fence across the street. The IDA owned this strip of land across from the SCAP building that used to be the home of Time Warner Spectrum, and we put that fence up with the cooperation of the school district for the safety of the neighborhood. This is a parcel in the rear of that site that the IDA purchased and again has never used. And to be honest, unlike the Duane Avenue or Watt Street lot, we never maintained this. It's just in the back there. This was the IDA taking Time Warner out of that place and putting them on the new building they have off of 890. But then the promise was made that that space, in return for Time Warner moving to the new location, that space would be occupied by somebody else. They basically guaranteed Time Warner a tenant or some activity there. So the IDA bought up some of these parcels. Fortunately, staff came in and took the building. But these are orphan parcels that the IDA owned due to this effort by the failed administration of the IDA to just buy up properties willy-nilly and then use it to launch the Time Warner project, which was a dubious success because the Time Warner building was a one-off. It's not a business park off of 890. It's one building that was built. I doubt I would have done that if I was running Metroplex at the time. But there was this whole charade where they moved Time Warner from an inner city location that could have been improved, and moved it to this suburban site off of 890 in Rotterdam. And then we're left to pick up the pieces of the IDA owning these orphan parcels. So we're very excited to move this forward. It'll net the IDA 67,000, put it on our treasury, and help the housing authority move forward with a redevelopment of Simon's home. So it'll be a positive thing. So we encourage you to approve it.
Okay, questions? Okay, if none, I will entertain a motion to approve resolution 690-24.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, Lucy?
Second.
Doug, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And last one is West Yard Properties LLC.
Yeah. I know we've talked about this for some time. It's if you've gone past Moll Harbor, again, a former 60-acre brownfield site, paying little to no taxes, has been converted into the premier brownfield revitalization, riverfront revitalization that we have in upstate New York. This is the final approving resolution for the arena project. We had a public hearing on August 21st, 2024. No public comments were received. It's a $50 million facility, 2,200 fixed seats, up to 3,595 for events. There'll also be some new parking spaces that will be specific to this complex, as well as shared parking throughout the Moll Harbor community. So, as we discussed, a lot of these facilities, the MVP Center, they're primarily owned by the municipality, which means there are reoccurring costs associated with it. Union's current rink is on Union's campus. That pays nothing in taxes as well. This facility is, they have a community benefits agreement with both the city and the county. It's highly supported through some funding through that, support through us to get it built. And we feel very happy to see this moving forward and provide, the reality of this serving as a community facility for years to come. So,
A great public-private partnership. You didn't want to lose Union Hockey to the MVP Arena, for example, which would have lost a lot of hotel rooms, a lot of activity. They needed to replace the Mesa rink. were able to craft this partnership with the Blessed Group to build a new arena at the harbor. It's also going to support special events, as David said, concerts, other activities, sports of all kinds. We met with a group yesterday that wants to use the facility. So it's going to bring a lot of visitors to the community, a lot of bed tax, a lot of sales tax. It'll help the restaurants and other attractions in the community. We thank Assemblyman Santa Barbara for finding some state money for this. The county and the city both dedicated some funding. The county and the city really wanted to see this arena built, and it's going to be a great amenity for a community, but neither the county or city wanted to own it or be encumbered with the cost, which many communities are, of running these facilities, and usually they run at a deficit. And that would be a recurring cost and a liability for the city or the county or Metroplex or some private authority that was set up to run the arena. Instead, what has happened is we have this private entity the Blessing folks have set up, which has got all the liability, all the responsibility for operations, profit and loss for the lifetime of the agreement. And that's a tremendous benefit for us, that we don't have to share in any of that operational risk or cost. So we love the way this is structured. It brings a major asset to the harbor that's going to increase visitation and do some great things for the community. And we encourage you to move forward on this. We're happy to answer any questions.
Questions?
I just add, it's a 3-acre vacant parcel that's being subdivided out. So it doesn't do anything to any of the other properties that are already on the tax rolls. So it's kind of just an addition.
And good point, David. The construction of this directly led to the demand and the need for the new Hyatt House, which is being built next door. So that property will create substantial new bed tax, sales tax, and property tax. The Hyatt House wouldn't be built unless we did the arena. So the arena is driving additional revenue already by leading to the construction of the Hyatt House. This building is being built by La Chase, the Hyatt House is being built by BBL, continuing our track record of using good, responsible builders who are employing folks in the community and doing the right thing and building quality structures.
100% prevailing wage job as well, based on the public involvement.
So what type of events are they intending to have there other than hockey? Are there like music events? Like, I'm not trying to envision what it's going to look like.
Good question. We are so blessed as a community now. Our team does not have expertise.
We don't do parties. It's
We
just
don't
not
do
a
parties.
thing.
I was struggling to think of it. We don't know how, there's economic development as tourism, and then what we do. The tourism folks, that's a market we don't understand. We're very blessed to have Todd Garofano running Discover Schenectady. He is a spectacular talent. And one of the things we're doing is competing for a lot of tournaments, sports tournaments, statewide tournaments, volleyball, basketball, soccer, lacrosse, and bringing those tournaments to town. Sports tourism is really big, and right now with the aquatic center pending, we're putting on a press release, Discover Schenectady putting on a press release today about the new cricket stadium in Glenville, hosting a major tournament this weekend. The county is expanding its ice hockey facility in Glenville, which will be a sister facility to this. So it's really sports, tournaments, union hockey, men's and women's, and concerts and special events. The casino event center is not big enough to, it has 1,000 seat capacity. This will give them the ability to bring in bigger events, trade shows, conferences, concerts.
Must be commencements also.
Commencement.
Yeah,
Maybe
no,
they
they can definitely do that.
You know,
I was just called by the athletic director at Union last week. They just put the ice down. So they don't have ice from April to August. So you can do trade shows, a boat show, something that you really play off the harbor. You have the new docks right in back of it. So from April to August, it can really be anything. They won't keep ice. The county at their expense continues to keep ice through Glenville. So that, this could really be used for anything. The reason why the athletic director called me is they were already having engineers go and look at Mesa they needed to remove that ice. The chemicals that they use are banned by the EPA. They phase it out. They were worried it's going to, at any time it could go under. They'd have to redo it for the cost of $5 to $7 million. But they're looking now at how to use that space, maybe put turf or something in. So that's going to be another attraction for the growing world of sports tourism.
I think you'll see us announcing the first couple of events. We're hoping to have a really nice kickoff type concert. It'll be open next fall on time for Union's hockey season. So it's right on schedule. So great project.
What about the effect on the apartments where they are they losing view on that side of the?
And traffic.
So we did a full environment. That's actually a great question. So there was many involved entities here. Metroplex was involved. So we completed a full environmental review. We updated the environmental impact statement, which was originally done when we converted from Elko to Mohawk Harbor. So they reviewed traffic at the time of the major events and deemed that there wasn't going to be a significant change. They did traffic studies. We specifically looked on Front Street because the Front Street and Stockade neighborhoods were concerned. There was no effects that were necessary because of the facility. Now we've gone above and beyond with some of the DRI projects that we're doing to implement some traffic calming ideas, stop signs, to hopefully get more people to respectfully use Front Street and the Stockade, so that B&Ls and some of the other businesses see some good good impact from being there, but not by drawing a lot more traffic in that way. So
with the apartment thing, there were always plans to develop that side of the river, more apartments or condos. Instead, they chose the arena got built. So there is some impact. The apartments are full and there's a waiting list. So it does right now. Druthers and
if you go down there, it's kind of this way where you see the whole river that way though.
Yeah.
So you can, now that they have the steel up, you can really see what the impact is. I think it actually makes it feel more like a community while still providing a view of the river. And the bike path is going to be reconfigured so you even get more riverfront access.
Is there any concern if the arena is not successful? Like, what would you do with just an arena there?
Well, the best thing about this, it was built for the purpose of supporting the Union College program. So this is the biggest, I'm a Union College alum, so I take great pride in this, but there's always been town-gown conflicts wherever you go in economic development. Union's financial commitment to this is substantial, where this is not going to be a facility that's just sitting empty. It's going to be one where it's the home of Union College hockey program, which means their training operations, their front office staff, everybody will live at this arena. As it comes to other events, just if they were just to keep it ice longer, there is a demand for that. It's about coming up with the best use for the facility to generate sales tax revenue, the other kind of revenue that this community wants to see.
The county rink in Glenville is very successful. It's booked all the time. Youth sports are a natural tenant. There's really been an underpinning, as David said, between Union and the casino on the operational side. And the key question is none of the operational risks. This is like the only arena that we can find that the operational risk is not on the county or the city. We structured this in a very innovative, I might even say brilliant way. But Gary McCarthy doesn't have to worry if the arena loses money. The county doesn't have to worry. That's not our concern. The building is being built, it's a quality building. We believe there's going to be tremendous demand. If you look at what's happening at the Nexus Center in Utica, which is a complex with an arena and ice sheets downtown Utica, it has been hugely successful. So the track record, we've talked to a lot of people in this industry. They'll have professional management. They hired a gentleman who ran RPI's Houston Fieldhouse to run the facility. It's in very capable hands, but none of that operational risk is on us. It's not on the IDA. It's not on Metroplex. It's not on the city or the county. It's on the private developer. But the underpinning between Union and the casino is so significant that really there's no room for failure.
It is a fair question though, because the reason why we're here is that if this was unlike any other facility and fully on the tax rolls, it wouldn't work. It doesn't get bank financing. That's the reason why we have to treat this like every other facility, because it isn't like a giant moneymaker. It is a community facility, adds to the the type of space that we have already.
And we're very indebted to the Klesse Group for financing this thing. You know, very few companies or developers would have the wherewithal to do what they're doing here, which is basically write a check and get this thing built. So it's a very significant thing, and it adds. We believe it will increase revenues at the casino substantially because of visitation, and that's a direct increase in payments to the city and the county. We have, as you all know, we get 5% of the city gets 5%, the county gets 5% of the slot revenue. So we believe it'll directly increase that and continue to justify the real estate taxes that the casino pays, which is $4 million a year. It's the only casino in the state that doesn't have a pilot. They pay full taxes. So it's another asset to justify the tax bill that we collect from the casino.
Definitely.
Any other questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve resolution 691-24.
So moved.
Doug, thank you. Second?
Second.
Lucy, okay, all in favor?
Right?
All right, is there anything else to come
There's a
before
lot
you?
of things going on. If you drive up State Street, you see Mall Conda coming down thanks to the land bank and Steve and Kristen and the house next door where there was a terribly violent crime at 764 State is being abated and knocked down shortly. And again, there's a major development there, planned for that site. And we're very excited about that. And that project is moving forward. A lot of good energy there. People are excited about getting rid of some of those elderly properties up there that are really housing folks an activity that was not good for the city or for the county. So we're excited to move that forward. Also, just tremendous as you all talk to people in the community, help us deliver the message that the GE plant downtown is busier than it's been in probably generations.
That's good.
It's shipping. This plant used to ship 40 units a year. It's now going to 4 or 5 a week with the winter projects that they're doing. So it's really a dynamic, exciting environment. But we still 9 out of 10 people in the city and the county think, well, geez, still cutting back or they're not involved. It's a very dynamic situation, and what's happening there because of the investments that they've made. They just announced another investment in the downtown campus. We just urge you to spread the news that good things are happening at both in this unit and the downtown Schenectady campuses. Again, the exciting news about St. Clair's, the last thing our community needed was an empty, vacant hospital in the middle of the community. That has happened in many communities around upstate New York. This facility won't be vacant for a day before the proven development team comes in and takes over the helm at St. Clair's, and we're going to work very hard to make sure that's successful. So lots of good things happening.
As another medical facility?
Nope, it's going to be residential.
Oh.
And also keeping the School of Nursing.
And the 2 other medical arts buildings stay.
Right.
School of Nursing stays. And then the main hospital will be converted into apartments. Nice apartments, market rate. Continuing to feed the demand for Redburn. One of the developers of the project owns 400 apartments in the city. They have no vacancies. So we need more housing. We need more housing. So the community is growing, so you need more housing. So
And any movement on getting new members of the IDA?
we've asked the council numerous times, please add your voices to that. We appreciate, we need new members, and thank you all for coming in and your important projects. We're able to move forward with your support, but we need additional folks. I've spoken to the council president. It's the council's appointment, not the mayor. So if you see any of the council folks in your travels, please tell them. Give us some IDA members.
Okay, anything else to come before the IDA? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion. Second.
Thank you all.
All in favor?
Aye.
Listen, your property up there always